Hi, Democrats. Today is Thursday, October 31st, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Actually, it's past time for the Chair's Daily Live, but I'm going to keep trying so that I can make it get here on the right time, but I'm going to keep doing this. We are 5 days out from the election, 5 days out. We are still in the middle of early voting, or actually the second day of early voting. It is 5:07 p.m. The poll is open until 6 p.m. If you're online at 6 p.m., please stay in line. Everybody needs to vote. Now, what I will tell you is the numbers are in, and actually, more Republicans have voted early than Democrats thus far in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Democrats, we have to show up. Do not be lulled into seeing that big old long line and thinking that means that we've shown up. Don't look at that big long line and think that it's over. It ain't over. We all got to show up, and we got to take some people with me. We got to check on our friends and neighbors and make sure that they've gone. Right now, Democrats are showing up, but so are Republicans. So we have to show up in all the numbers. Do not get carried away and get excited because her speeches are better and he's over here flaming out. There are still some people who don't watch that stuff, and they are ingrained in what they're ingrained in. The only way, enthusiasm doesn't win. Voting wins. The only way that we can make sure that the former guy doesn't get back into office is that we vote. We all have to show up and vote. But instead of just talking about the presidential election, which is a big deal, which is history making, I want to make sure that I focus on the fact that there is a sheriff's race in Oklahoma City. It's an important race. There's a sheriff race. In Tulsa, there is a mayor's race. We have to make sure that we're paying attention to everything on the ballot, not just the presidential race. We got to pay attention to all of it. My ballot is front and back and a whole nother page. So if you think that you're going to go down there, bip in and bip out, it's going to take you a minute because there's a whole lot of coloring, because I'm encouraging everybody to vote individually all the way down the ballot. I'm encouraging folks to retain the judges. There's a lot, right? So there's president, Congress, state Senate, state House. In Tulsa, we have some local races. And then on the back, all the judges and a couple of state questions. And then on the separate piece of paper, we have mayor. There is a lot. There is a lot that we need to focus on and vote for. It all makes a difference. In 4 of 5 congressional districts, there are Democrats on the ballot. CD1, we have Dennis Baker, former FBI, former police officer, current lawyer, very smart man who actually stands for things. That's in CD1, which is Tulsa and little bitty parts of all the counties that surround us. CD2, we have Brandon Wade, a lifetime union member. CD2 is our entire eastern border from Kansas to Texas, east of Tulsa. All of that is Congressional District 2. We have Brandon Wade. Congressional District 3, which is the whole western half of the state, we don't have a candidate there. Congressional District 4, which is the bottom central part of our state, from like Midwest City down, Comanche County, Lawton, Pontotoc County, Ada. So that's about where CD4 is. We have Mary Brannon, and CD5 is Oklahoma City and little bits of the counties surrounding Oklahoma County. We have Madison Horn. We have congressional candidates all over the state. If you want better outcomes, you have to pick a better Congress. So it's not just about president. It's not just about president. You have to pick a better congressional person. And then we also have state house and state senate kind of all over. We need to make sure that we pay attention to that, because a lot of legislation that used to be handled at the federal level is being pushed back to the states. And we need to make sure that we have smart folks serving in our state legislature who can deal with the issues in a way that we need them dealt with. We need to, have folks who will talk to their constituents before they go out and vote. So CD1, Dennis Baker. Congressional District 1, Dennis Baker. Congressional District 2, Brandon Wade. Congressional District 4, Mary Brannon. And Congressional District 5, Madison Horn. You want better outcomes, pick a better Congress. Then you got your state offices, and then you have all the judges. So everybody needs to show up and vote. Now, while we're all talking about voting, and why I keep being late every day because I'm trying to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row with regards to campaigns, our legislators are still working right now. They're still working. They're doing what we call interim studies, right? Interim studies, which are in between session, where they have an issue that they think they might want to bring legislation forward, and they bring in experts to explain to their committees and anybody who's willing to go and sit and listen to explain and break it down. And so there are interim studies that are going on right now in the month of October. I learned something when I was getting ready for this. 55% of Oklahoma children live in a child care desert. And what that means is that there are parents who have kids that they can't find childcare for because there aren't childcare agencies. And so they're having to tap into friends and family. 34 of our 77 counties have childcare, which means, what is that? 43 of our counties don't. That's crazy. And there's an interim study of like, did we make it too hard? Did we make it too hard to open one? Did we make it too hard for people to afford it? So there's an interim study that's examining that. There's an interim study about artificial intelligence and its impact on us as a nation. There's an interim study on somehow us accepting gold and silver as currency just in our regular day life. I don't know what that looks like. Criminal justice reform, and then individual freedoms. And so our legislators, a lot of people think that they're part-time workers because session is from February to May. Well, when they're not in actual session where they're going every day to the legislature, they're also doing research. They're working in their districts, asking their constituents what they care about. And then they're doing these interim studies, sort of like homework in preparation for session. And so you heard the things: childcare, criminal justice reform, gold and silver as money, artificial intelligence. We need to make sure that who we're sending to Oklahoma City can deal with these issues in a real meaningful way. I'm going to stop talking because if you're watching this, you care about who gets elected. I'm going to give you guys some free time so you can go back and what's the word? I don't want to say harass, but make sure that everyone in your life has a plan to vote if they haven't already voted. We all have to get out and vote. Thanks for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow, maybe not talking so fast, but I have a lot of things I want to talk about. So I will see you tomorrow. Go vote if you haven't voted, and have a good evening.